You might know the tune, you might even know the movie, but if you are a TF2 fan, there's an almost zero chance you were around for its release. Deliverance! No, it's not a mid-2000s rom-com featuring Kevin James about package delivery, but a cowboy film with this very famous guitar scene and the inspiration for TF2's Duelling Banjos taunt, which I will now recreate on my own guitar to avoid any potential copyright strikes. Slightly more in TF2's age range, although if I'm really honest with my 31-year-old self, probably not by much, the Carlton. This dance is of course inspired by Fortnite. No, wait. It's this guy from Dancing with the Stars. Sorry. Not just known for his son whose eyes aren't real, daughter whose hair whips back and forth, and wife whose name gets stuck in people's mouths, Will Smith actually rose to fame himself as an actor in a little show called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And it was in this show that co-star Alfonso Ribeiro danced this very same dance, now danceable by the Scout in TF2. And that character's name? That character's name was Carlton, hence the name of the taunt. Believe it or not, that Fortnite reference a moment ago was more than a mere gag, because Alfonso decided to sue Fortnite for their inclusion of his iconic jazzy moves, despite TF2 adding the Carlton an entire year earlier. Perhaps Valve's status as a small indie company made him think that it simply wasn't worth his time going after them instead. Continuing our trend of players not only younger than the source material, but also younger than the famous references to the source material, is Burstchester. A reference, of course, to the 2003 TV advert for the niche UK package snack Knick Knacks. They themselves, of course, a reference to the objectively much better snack Twiglets. Interestingly, the name Burstchester almost sounds like a play on the name of the chest burster aliens from the Alien franchise, and in fact, even kind of looked and acts like them as well. What a funny coincidence. Many of TF2's dance taunts are sort of references to genres or general styles of dancing, like the conga, the Kazotsky Kick, the square dance, or the Australian tradition of starting fights. And that's TF2 lore, by the way, not something that I've attributed, please don't hurt me. Once in a while, like the Carlton, a dance taunt is actually based on a real specific dance, such as that portrayed by famed passenger jet pilot and lifelong pseudoscientist John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever, or Mannrobics being based on the extremely famous 1988 Crystal Light National Aerobics champion? Is this right? For reasons not entirely obvious to me, the TF2 wiki even has a guitar tab for this soundtrack, which I will now play for you on guitar much like I did earlier. The truly excellent End of a Line and Expiration Date SFM shorts gave birth to more TF2 taunts than the Chicxulub asteroid gave death to extant dinosaurs. And while many of these are unique to the shorts or inspired by more general influences, the killer solo actually has its origins in the real world. You see, these mesmerizing, gyrating hips are the work of none other than a viral hit backing dancer from the 2010 Eurovision entry for Moldova. Or perhaps they're from the original inspiration for Ninja's hairstyle, this similarly viral baritone saxophonist New York subway busker whose funky feet and epic bandmates have since traveled the world. Of course, I know I could just ask one of the community contributors the actual influence for this item, and it is almost definitely the first one, but both of these origins are so bizarrely specific that I really just wanted to see them written down next to each other. Now, I must admit, whilst researching this video, there were a couple of taunts that surprised me as being movie references. Dr. Strangelove is not a Benedict Cumberbatch-inspired porno, at least not one that I'm familiar with, but it's a zany 1964 Cold War era film about a guy who rides a bomb like a horse, or something like that. I admit I still haven't watched it, but as someone who finally watched The Shining and 2001 A Space Odyssey in the last couple of years and loved them thoroughly, although I'm still not sure I quite understand the whole space baby thing, I do have a feeling that I would really enjoy Dr. Strangelove. Anyway, the reason I mentioned that bomb riding scene is because it's that which is the basis for the Rocket Jockey taunt in TF2. Rock, paper, scissors. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, Casper, everyone knows rock, paper, scissors. That's not based on anything. And others of you might be thinking, actually, I think you mean scissors, paper, stone. And if you're in the latter group, I'm really, really sorry. This taunt in TF2 has unique animations for every class to start, act out all the possible hands, and win and lose reactions. And on top of that, it even has the unique mechanic of killing the loser if the taunt is done between two people of opposite teams. So a lot of love obviously went into making it. But here, today, for this video, I want to draw attention to Scout's victory dance. Sports fans might know this already, and again, those viewers of a more advanced age might even remember it live. But this little jive is known as the alley shuffle, a little maneuver attributed to the world's greatest. No, wait, I shouldn't say that. The greatest in the world, Muhammad Ali. Thus far, we've mostly seen references to TV and movies. But what better source of inspiration for video games than other video games? Now, we're all gamers here, so I'm not expecting to blow anyone's minds, but given that the two games that I want to mention both originally released back in 1987, I realise there's actually a chance that some people out there won't know what the Team Fortress taunts are actually based on. For the first and last time to date, we've actually got a default taunt, Pyro's secondary weapon, the Hadouken, which finds its origins in the legendary fighting game series Street Fighter, and is one of my personal favourite taunt kills to pull off. And in an age where TF2 cosmetics have jumped the shark so far that they could fly higher than even Mega Shark can reach, it's nice to see that we still have taunts like the Box Trot for Spy, based on the stealth action Metal Gear series. It's still a little OTT, but at least it makes a lot more sense than heavy driving in a high-speed hovercraft while Sonic, Danica Patrick and members of Bloody Yogg's car zoom past him.